What makes a game a perfect 10 out of 10? Is it the story, the gameplay, the characters, or that captivating feeling that immerses you into its world and doesn't let go? 28 games that completely blew us away, each becoming absolute must-plays. Let's get into it.
The time has come.
The first game on this list is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is shaping up to be more than just a sequel. It's a love letter to fans of the original and newcomers alike. Building on the foundation laid by Final Fantasy VII Remake, the game is improved in almost every way, offering an expansive open world and deeper dives into beloved character stories. Square Enix has pulled out all the stops, using cutting-edge visuals and reimagined gameplay mechanics to create a seamless blend of action and strategy. Why is this a 10 out of 10 contender? It's the storytelling. The way it respects the legacy while pushing boundaries. Plus, the visual fidelity and musical arrangements elevate every scene. Add to that the emotional depth of Cloud and his companions, and you're in for a masterpiece that fans will be talking about for decades.
Quiet.
Another great game on this list is God of War, which returned in 2018. It wasn't just a comeback, it was a complete reimagining of the series. Leaving behind the Greek pantheon, Kratos now finds himself in the world of Norse mythology, accompanied by his son, Atreus. This father-son dynamic introduces an emotional depth that fans hadn't seen before, blending seamlessly with the game's gritty combat and exploration. The world is vast, filled with secrets, side quests, and lore that brings the Norse gods and creatures to life in stunning detail. The weapons and combat in this game are particularly satisfying. When it comes to stylish combat, nothing quite matches Devil May Cry 5. Capcom brought Dante, Nero, and Newcomer V into a symphony of swordplay, gunfire, and demon-slaying chaos. The game's standout feature? It's the incredible combat system. Whether you're zipping around on Nero's Devil Breakers, slashing enemies with Dante's endless arsenal, or conjuring shadow creatures with V, the variety keeps gameplay endlessly fresh. The RE engine makes the game a visual stunner, from the grotesque demon designs to the stunning cityscapes. Why is it a 10 out of 10? Because it knows exactly what it wants to be. A high-octane action experience with just the right amount of over-the-top drama.
Whoa, looks like I took in a little too much. You okay?
The Last of Us redefined storytelling in games, setting a new standard for character depth, emotion, and realism. This post-apocalyptic journey follows Joel and Ellie as they navigate a world ravaged by infection, danger, and despair. The bond between the two characters is beautifully developed, making each moment feel impactful. The gameplay blends stealth, action, and survival mechanics that keep players engaged while telling a story of love, loss, and resilience. The haunting soundtrack and detailed environments immerse you in a world that feels as bleak as it does beautiful, making The Last of Us a true masterpiece that resonates with players long after the credits roll. The game masterfully explores themes of love, loss, and survival, often forcing players to confront the darker sides of humanity. With its emotional storytelling and unforgettable moments, it's a game that redefined what video game narratives could achieve. If you haven't played it yet, prepare to be utterly captivated.
Warn me about what?
In a world overrun by terrifying zombie-like creatures, Days Gone offers more than just survival. At its heart, it's a deeply human story about love, loss, and redemption. You play as Deacon St. John, a drifter and biker searching for hope in a brutal, unforgiving world. The game's open world is filled with danger and mystery, but it's the relationships Deacon forms and the secrets he uncovers that truly drive the narrative. It's an emotional ride that balances intense action with quieter, heartfelt moments.
You know same as me. Anything that happens here is far better than what's going on out there.
Imagine a world where androids walk among us, not as machines, but as beings yearning for freedom. In Detroit Become Human, you guide 3 androids, Kara, Marcus, and Connor, through a branching narrative filled with life and death decisions. Every choice matters. shaping not just their fates but the course of an entire society. The game dives deep into themes of humanity, justice, and morality, challenging you to reflect on your own values. With breathtaking visuals, top-tier voice acting, and endless replayability, Detroit Become Human isn't just a game. It's an experience that evolves based on how you play it.
You lied to me, Connor.
Red Dead 2 is widely celebrated as one of the best games ever due to its incredible storytelling, immersive world, and attention to detail. Set in a beautifully crafted open world, players explore the life of Arthur Morgan, a complex character navigating loyalty and survival. The game's realistic graphics, rich landscapes, and lifelike characters make it feel truly alive.
Well, I'll be keeping an eye on you, that's for sure.
Rockstar really showed that they can make games that are deep and immersive. Red Dead 2 redefines open-world gaming, setting a new standard for narrative-driven adventures. Even 7 years after its release, it still rivals the best of modern titles in both looks and gameplay, especially on PC. Whether you're roaming vast landscapes or simply watching a sunset, every moment feels immersive and unforgettable. The game's attention to detail, emotional depth, and dynamic world-building make it a timeless masterpiece that captivates every time.
You and Charles, you take folks up that way.
Astrobot 2024 is a love letter to PlayStation fans and a true celebration of gaming. Developed by Team Asobi for the PS5 to coincide with PlayStation's 30th anniversary, this game is the perfect mix of nostalgia and innovation. Playing as the lovable Astro, you embark on a journey to save lost bots and rebuild the PlayStation 5 mothership, all while fending off the alien space bully Nebulax. The game takes full advantage of the DualSense controller, making every jump, glide, and interaction feel more immersive than ever. Critics have hailed it as the PS5's answer to Nintendo's Super Mario, blending accessible platforming with imaginative level design and clever nods to PlayStation's history. It's a feast of creativity, from the boss fights to the collectibles that celebrate decades of gaming. Winning Game of the Year at the Game Awards 2024 and selling 1.5 million copies by November, Astrobot is a milestone for both platformers and the PlayStation legacy. Black Myth: Wukong is one of those games that has everyone in the gaming community talking, and for good reason. Based on the iconic Chinese novel Journey to the West, it brings the tale of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, to life like never before. The visuals are simply breathtaking, showcasing stunning environments, meticulously crafted monsters, and the fluid movements of Wukong himself. But it's not just about looks. The combat system feels deep and rewarding, encouraging players to strategize and make the most of Wukong's unique powers. This game promises to immerse players in a world rich in mythology and history, with each encounter offering a new layer to the journey. Black Myth: Wukong is shaping up to be a truly legendary experience.
Definitely Sam's Tower.
I want to tell you about the emotional story of one of my personal favorites. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is an epic when it comes to storytelling. The game sees the treasure hunter Nathan Drake grappling with his past as he's pulled into one last quest. The story masterfully balances blockbuster action with deeply emotional moments, exploring Nathan's relationships and the cost of his obsession. The banter between characters feels natural, and the performances are top-notch. Uncharted 4 is an incredible farewell to Nathan Drake's adventures, taking players through beautiful landscapes, thrilling chases, and unforgettable treasure hunts. Naughty Dog crafted an experience that feels cinematic and exciting at every turn. Uncharted 4 is the definition of an action-adventure masterpiece, proving that the series ended up on the highest note possible.
Yeah, like ever.
No, not by a long shot.
Bloodborne is more than just a game. It's a chilling descent into madness. From Software's gothic horror masterpiece plunges players into the cursed city of Yama, where monstrous beasts and eldritch horrors lurk around every corner. The game's combat demands precision, rewarding aggression over defense with its fast-paced, visceral mechanics. Unique to Bloodborne is the rally system, allowing you to regain lost health by quickly counterattacking. Encouraging bold gameplay. Why is this a 10 out of 10? The atmosphere and incredible level design. Every cobblestone street and decrepit cathedral oozes a sense of dread and wonder. Its interconnected world design is a marvel, with each area seamlessly blending into the next. Add to that a cryptic but deeply compelling narrative and some of the most memorable bosses in gaming history, like Father Gascoigne and the Orphan of Kos. This is a game that doesn't just challenge you, it leaves an indelible mark on your psyche. In Mass Effect 2, you lead Commander Shepard and a crew of misfits on a mission to save the galaxy. It's a story about camaraderie, sacrifice, and the weight of leadership. What makes this game truly shine is its cast. Each companion has a rich backstory, personal struggles, and missions that deepen their connection with you. Your choices not only shape the fate of your crew, but ripple across the trilogy, making every decision feel meaningful. With cinematic storytelling and some of the best character development in gaming, Mass Effect 2 is an unmissable epic. Our journey begins in feudal Japan with Ghost of Tsushima. This action-adventure masterpiece places you in the role of Jin Sakai, a samurai fighting to save his island from Mongol invaders. But it's more than a war story. Jin struggles with his identity, torn between his traditional samurai code and the harsh realities of guerrilla warfare. The game's world is stunning, with picturesque landscapes that breathe life into its emotional tale. The story might not be as powerful as some of the other games on this list, but with its layered characters, moral dilemmas, and a soundtrack that pulls at your heartstrings, Ghost of Tsushima is an unforgettable gaming experience worth sharing.
They are brutal.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order strikes the perfect balance between cinematic storytelling and compelling gameplay. Respawn Entertainment crafted a Star Wars experience that feels authentic, with a protagonist, Cal Kestis, who embarks on a deeply personal journey of survival and redemption. The lightsaber combat is a standout, blending parries, dodges, and force powers in a way that feels fluid and satisfying. But it's not just the gameplay. This game nails the Star Wars vibe. From exploring iconic locations to the stirring orchestral score, it immerses you completely in its galaxy. Why is this a 10 out of 10? Because it respects its source material while standing on its own merits. The Metroidvania-style level design encourages exploration, and the story, filled with emotional highs and thrilling twists, keeps you hooked. This is the Star Wars game fans have been waiting for. I personally much prefer the linear level design compared to Jedi Survivor, which I felt was trying to copy Elden Ring a bit too much. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Good. Looking good, actually. Are you okay? Are you... Don't answer that. I'm absolutely sure you're
What
fine.
happens when you mix ingenious puzzles with razor-sharp humor? You get Portal 2. Valve's classic expands on its predecessor in every way, introducing new mechanics like gels and light bridges that make for brain-bending challenges. But what truly elevates this game to the 10 out of 10 status is its storytelling. GLaDOS is back, as sarcastic and sinister as ever, but this time she's joined by the bumbling Wheatley, voiced brilliantly by Stephen Merchant. The narrative strikes a perfect balance between comedy and existential dread, pulling you deeper into Aperture Science's dark secrets. The co-op mode is another highlight, offering unique puzzles that require true teamwork. Add in the game's impeccable pacing and unforgettable ending, and you've got a puzzle game that transcends the genre.
Wounds are bad.
The Witcher 3 redefined open-world RPGs with its vast world, complex characters, and compelling storytelling. Players step into the boots of Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter who's as skilled with a sword as he is with sarcasm. The game's side quests are as engaging as the main story, each one crafted with attention to detail that makes them feel essential to the world. From the beauty of Valen to the intrigue of Novigrad, every region in The Witcher 3 feels brimming with secrets. If you haven't already played it, now's the time to check it out. You don't need to know the story of the first two games to enjoy it either. It's a tale of love, destiny, and war. Every quest, from the main story to the smallest side mission, is filled with depth and consequences. With its rich lore, morally complex characters, and a world that feels alive, The Witcher 3 delivers an unforgettable narrative experience that sets the standard for storytelling in games. Ever built a flaming catapult just to see if it works? In Tears of the Kingdom, not only is that encouraged, it's practically a requirement. This sequel to Breath of the Wild takes creativity to the next level, letting you experiment with crafting, exploration, and combat in ways you never imagined. Solve intricate puzzles, tame wild horses, and attempt to collect every Korok seed. Seriously, good luck with that. The sprawling world feels alive with possibilities, especially when you take to the skies. The Sky Islands, they're a game changer, adding vertical exploration that'll have you falling with style more times than you can count. Link's latest journey is as epic as it is time-consuming, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice brought a fresh twist to the Souls formula, introducing us to Japan's Sengoku era through the eyes of a shinobi named Wolf. Unlike previous From Software games, Sekiro focuses heavily on precision and timing, rewarding players for mastering the art of deflection and counterattacking. The game's world is beautifully crafted, with hidden paths, secret bosses, and intense duels that require total focus. The story, filled with Japanese folklore and myth, is woven into every encounter, making every boss fight feel like an epic clash of warriors. This game demands patience and perseverance, but the sense of achievement when overcoming each challenge is unparalleled, making it a modern classic. In the nuclear wasteland of the Mojave Desert, Fallout New Vegas tells a story of power, revenge, and survival. As the courier, you're left for dead after being shot in the head, but your journey to uncover the truth spirals into a battle for the fate of New Vegas itself. The game's branching storylines let you align with factions, betray allies, or carve your own path to power. With its razor-sharp writing, dark humor, and world that adapts to your choices, New Vegas remains a standout in the Fallout series and one of the best RPGs ever made. Baldur's Gate 3 has captured the hearts of RPG fans by combining classic D&D mechanics with stunning visuals and a story that adapts to your every choice. As you explore the richly detailed world, every decision you make has a consequence, impacting your relationships, quests, and the game's outcome. The game's voice acting, story depth, and attention to detail make it an immersive experience, allowing players to create their own unique journey in the Forgotten Realms. BG3 is an epic.
Your only chance of survival.
Nier Automata isn't just a game, it's an experience. Developed by Platinum Games and directed by the visionary Yoko Taro, this title dives deep into themes of existentialism, purpose, and what it truly means to be alive. Following the journey of androids 2B and 9S in a bleak future where humans have been driven to the moon, players are taken on a ride that's as emotionally complex as it is visually impressive. With a hauntingly beautiful soundtrack, dynamic camera angles that constantly shift perspectives, and combat that's both smooth and challenging, Nier Automata keeps players on their toes. The storytelling is layered, revealing itself with each playthrough and begging you to come back for more. It's the kind of game that sticks with you long after the credits roll.
This a lot lately. Couldn't tell you why though.
Despite its rough start, Cyberpunk 2077 has finally delivered on its promises. Set in the neon-drenched dystopian world of Night City, players step into the shoes of V, a mercenary in search of immortality and identity. The city itself is a masterpiece, filled with dynamic NPCs, stories on every corner, and a level of detail that feels overwhelming in the best way. The branching narrative, character customization, and high-octane action keep players fully immersed. With recent updates and expansions, Cyberpunk 2077 has finally become the open-world RPG experience it was meant to be.
V, you don't know how much...
The game's story is as much about your personal journey as it is about unraveling corporate conspiracies. Whether you're making life-altering choices, forming deep relationships, or exploring moral gray areas, Cyberpunk 2077 delivers a story rich in depth and emotion, complemented by an open world that feels alive at every turn.
Truth is, I died and rose again. Plain and simple.
Okay, yes, Skyrim is still on every best games list, and for good reason. Why? Because there's always something to do in its vast open world. You could easily spend 100 hours shouting at dragons, mastering alchemy, or simply collecting every flower in Tamriel. The game's design ensures that no two playthroughs are the same, with a massive world filled with diverse factions, quests, and hidden treasures. Skyrim took around 5 years to develop, with Bethesda refining their open world formula from Oblivion. The team used a revolutionary toolset that allowed for seamless world building, creating an expansive and immersive environment. The game's success was also due to its ability to draw players into its richly detailed world, where every corner holds a story.
I'd heard the stories of the abilities of Dragonborn, but to see it for myself...
With over 30,000 lines of voice dialogue and hundreds of locations to explore, there's no shortage of content. The depth of its lore and the freedom given to players make it a timeless classic, a game that invites you to lose yourself in its world for hours on end.
Come on, Amicia. 6.
Set during the Black Death in medieval France, A Plague Tale: Innocence introduces players to Amicia and her younger brother, Hugo, as they try to survive both a deadly plague and an army of rats overtaking the countryside. This game masterfully blends stealth, survival, and puzzle-solving elements in a way that keeps you constantly on edge. The atmosphere is heavy, the environments are hauntingly beautiful, and the story's filled with twists that make every chapter gripping. It may not have the massive scale of some of the other titles on this list, but what it delivers in storytelling and atmosphere makes it a perfect 10.
It worked.
Dragon Quest XI: Echoes of an Elusive Age is a JRPG distilled to perfection. This game is a celebration of the genre, with its turn-based combat and heartwarming story of friendship and destiny. It's also stunningly beautiful, blending vibrant anime-inspired visuals with lush, detailed environments. The story might seem simple at first, a chosen hero on a quest to save the world, but it evolves into something emotionally profound, with twists that challenge your expectations. What makes this a 10 out of 10? It's the charm. Every NPC, town, and side quest is brimming with life and personality. The orchestral soundtrack, combined with Akira Toriyama's iconic art style, creates a timeless aesthetic. Plus, the Definitive Edition adds even more value, with quality of life improvements and expanded content. Whether you're a JRPG veteran or a newcomer, Dragon Quest XI is a must-play.
Greetings.
Elden Ring is the game that brought Dark Souls' punishing but satisfying gameplay to an expansive open world. From Software, with the creative input of George R.R. Martin, created a vast and intricate universe full of ancient secrets, towering bosses, and dark lore that players can explore at their own pace. The world is as rewarding as it is challenging, encouraging players to explore every nook and cranny, as there's always a new secret or hidden treasure waiting to be found. The combat is intense and demands patience and skill, with each enemy feeling like a unique challenge. One of the greatest games of all time. I haven't had time to play the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion yet personally, so let me know what you thought of it in the comments, and if it's better or worse than the base game.
Hello, Fabian, darling.
Namaste, Amanda. Are we ready to practice?
Yes.
When GTA 5 dropped, it redefined the open world genre. Set in the sprawling city of Los Santos, players take control of 3 unique characters: Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, each with their own stories, strengths, and personalities. The game's narrative intertwines their lives in ways that make for a thrilling experience, loaded with action, humor, and plenty of plot twists. Los Santos itself is like a living, breathing character, with so much detail and activities that you could spend hours just exploring. Disco Elysium is unlike any game you've played. This detective RPG drops you into the shoes of a washed-up cop trying to solve a murder in a city teetering on the edge of collapse. But it's not just about solving crimes, it's a deep exploration of identity, politics, and the human condition. Your choices shape every aspect of the story, from how you interact with characters to the kind of detective you become. With its sharp writing, philosophical depth, and unique gameplay, Disco Elysium is a storytelling triumph that challenges you to think like never before. Death Stranding blurs the line between gaming and cinematography. Created with the Decima engine, the game features breathtaking landscapes that feel alive. Whether it's rocky cliffs, grassy plains, or snowy mountains, every environment is meticulously crafted. The game's use of lighting is phenomenal. with realistic shadows and reflections that adapt to weather and time of day. Character models are so detailed they look like living actors. Rain, snow, and wind add another layer of realism, making you feel the weight of every step. It's a visual and emotional experience unlike any other. Which one's the most worth diving into first? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos. See you next time.